What we are going to achieve by the end of this lecture is implement this movie details view. So we'll have this big image, we'll have this close button, and once we click on this button, we will navigate to the main view, and we will also display plot information in the expander control and also the cast in the expander control. The last feature is the mark as favorite button. So once we click on it, we will change the state into is favorite, and on transition we'll have this animation. So let's implement this now. Okay, let's navigate to the movie details view and start implementing features. Oops, it looks like we have a crash. So this is due to we are using HTTP. We need to use HTTPS instead. Okay, that was quick fix. Let's try one more time. And now we have navigated to the movie details. Let's start implementing the movie details view. The first thing I want to show is the movie image. For that, I'm going to use FF image loading library and create a new cached image. So instead of label, I'm going to wrap everything into scroll view with vertical option, fill and expand. And I'm going to add white background color. Now let's add our view. So that's FF image loading cached image. Source is, we are going to bind that to the movie data.image URL. For aspect, we are going to use aspect fill, and let's request height of 500. So the next thing I want to do is to have the close button, which will navigate back to the main view, and that button will be shown on top of the cached image. So the easiest way to do this is to have a grid and place both elements inside the same grid. So that will going to be image button, source is close.png. For background color, I'm just going to use white, and let's bind that to the go back command. I'm going to wrap this image button inside a frame element to get the circle button. So we can see we have the button now. Let's go and implement the go back command. So this is just going to be a simple command which will pop the current page. I need to resolve some references, and let's see if this works now. Okay, it works. Let's continue to build the movie details view. The next thing I want to show is the movie title, and since scroll view can have only one main content, I will wrap this everything into a stack layout. And this will now show the title of the movie. I can also remove this navigation bar since I have a way to navigate back to the main view. So navigation page has navigation bar is equal to false. Okay, let me just quickly resize Visual Studio so we can see how the view looks like in real time. Below the title, I also want to show a year in which the movie was released. So I need another label and bind that label to the movie data year. So let's bind that to the movie data year, and I'm going to use string format to show the year text before the actual year. So I'm going to have year, and then I will display the actual year. Let me just introduce some padding. So let's say 2800. And text color is going to be gray. Okay, we have our year as well. The next thing we will introduce is the image button. When we click on it, it will mark a movie as favorite. So let me just quickly format this selection and let's move on. So again, I'm going to use grid to show two elements within the same horizontal position. So I'm going to wrap this label inside it and add another image button. Let's name it as image button. The source we are going to bind to the new property we are going to define shortly, and we are going to call this property is favorite. Let me just quickly style the button and bind the click event to the command which we will name favorite command. And let's add these two new properties. So we need property is favorite and favorite command. So the first thing we need is a new property called is favorite. And the second thing we need is the command for the new button. So I have prepared this favorite command, and the only purpose of it is to change the state of the is favorite. So it will set it either to true or false based on the previous is favorite state. Now the source is expected to have some kind of image source, but we are providing the boolean, so we need another converter to convert the bool to image. Let's add another folder for converters, and add one new converter. I'm going to call it bool to favorite image converter. It's going to implement iValue converter. And let's implement this interface. Fix the indentation. I can expand Visual Studio now, resolve missing references. And what this bool to favorite image converter does is that if the value is true, we are returning full heart.png, otherwise we are returning empty heart.png. Let's use this converter in the movie details view. So the first thing I need to do is to reference this new folder, this new namespace. Then what I need to do is to add this converter to the resources dictionary of this view. So I have included bool to favorite image converter. The key to access it is bool to favorite, and I can use it in the source property of our image button. So I will add this converter bool to favorite. And now we see the button. If we click on it, it changes the state. Next, let's add a small animation to it. So once we click on it, we will trigger a new event, image button underscore clicked. And what we are going to do in this event handler is make image a little bit bigger. We are going to animate it during the 200 seconds. After that, we are going to scale it back to the original size. So you can see this small animation.